Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Absolute Hysteria presents Artist Spotlight of the Week. Absolute Hysteria presents Absolute Hysteria presents Artist Spotlight. Absolute Hysteria presents Artist Spotlight of the Week.
It's 6/9/2024. Kid Jewell. Born to hustle.
All right, man. I apologize about that, man. The connection was going a little wonky there for a minute, so the video kept freezing. The intro video kept freezing. So, but we're back. First ever episode number 1 of the Artist Spotlight with my guy Kid Jewell. We're going to bring him up just in a second. We're going to bring up my co-host right now. We got Kincaid in the building.
Hey, yo.
We're about to bring up the man of the hour, Mr. Kid Jewell. We're going to get to know this guy a little bit. Of course, we already know him, but you might not. And if you don't, hopefully after this episode, you'll have a little bit more knowledge of this man. So let's bring up Mr. Kid Jewell.
What up?
First thing I noticed, he's rocking that SWO shirt. He's representing that sinister world order.
Yes, sir. Watch out for that new promo I'm throwing up on my pages tomorrow.
In fact, I should already have that shit up. I don't know why I don't have that uploaded yet.
If you have it, go ahead and play it.
I know exactly. I need to get the actual sinister thing up too, man. But yeah, we back once again. I want to apologize for last week. There was some crazy technical difficulties going on. We got through our normal little spiel at the beginning. We went through all the segments and got to the main part, and I was just about to dive in, and my computer just went completely black.
It looked like you stretched out and kicked that bitch across the room. That's what it looked like.
Bro, it was bad, man. I got it started. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. I got it to start back up. I think the power supply is going bad, so I have to replace that. But right now it's running, and I haven't turned it off. So it's running right now, guys. Just bear with me.
Blame it on me for falling asleep early.
No, it wasn't your fault. Yeah, we figured out what happened to Kid Jewell, why he wasn't with us at the point. He had took a little nizap and slipped.
He was abducted and raped by the crazy cat lady.
It's hard to stay up past Johnny Carson. Can't help it.
Yeah. Eric Whitler said, "Hey, bros, what's happening?"
What's up, Eric?
Wicked Way said, "Whoop whoop."
Whoop.
And Sinister Minded Music in this bish.
Yes, sir.
Bish. Shout out to Wicked Ways out there holding it down. But yeah, man, this is the first ever Artist Spotlight. Like I said, Kid Jewell. So let's dive into a question. It's not really a question. It's more or less for those who might not know you, never heard of you, never listened to a song. This is their introduction. Tell them about you. Where did Kid Jewell come from? Who is Kid Jewell?
So I got the name from another homie from back in the day. I've done music probably 5 or 6 different times. I quit, come back into it. Just making music really for myself more than anything. And I got the name early on because, I look like a kid, went through a lot of medical issues. He's like, man, just run with it. And It's actually picking up here lately, and this time around started to really invest into myself, which was my problem back in the day. Didn't really invest into myself, but things are going good. Getting ready to drop Born to Hustle next month, and it's gonna be a big one.
Hell yeah. So you got that's going. Is that the debut?
What?
How many albums do you have prior to this?
I
Like I
I
said,
I,
dive in, man. Tell us from the beginning. Like,
I
no, we're gonna act like motherfuckers don't even know you right now.
so I dropped my first album officially last year on my birthday. It's called True Colors. Just a lot of outcast type music. Not really being able to fit in with anybody, going through school, relationship, whatever it may be. That's usually what I make is outcast music, and I got music videos on YouTube. I got a bunch of the songs on YouTube. All of the songs are on YouTube. I got physical copies. Uh, a lot of songs just about being, stabbed in the back and a lot of traumatizing shit.
Okay. So, Born to Hustle. That's the new project.
Yep.
You have a date on it yet?
Uh, I'm shooting for July 7th again for my birthday. I'm gonna try to keep that pattern whenever I release albums. I got some features include Darby O'Trill and Easy 606, Stevie Stone, Blind Fury, and a couple other of the homies that you'll find out here soon.
Okay. Okay. Um. So you said you had some health problems as a kid, man. Like, do you mind
Yeah,
talking about that, or is that something
I,
you don't like to talk about, or?
yeah, I'll go into it a little bit. It's not really something I talk about in my personal life, just because I'm not the one to kind of bring that unless you really know me. But I was born in '94, and 6 months old, Christmas Day actually, I was diagnosed with stage 4 ALL leukemia, and they gave me 3 days to live. They told my mom to take me home, and that was pretty much it. And there was only one doctor in the hallway that was willing to try because I was gonna die anyways. So he's like, "What the fuck are y'all doing?" Like, I don't. I think that the doctors back then didn't want that responsibility tied to them. If they did something
Mm-hmm.
and then something were to happen, they'd be held reliable in a way. But
Yeah, it's a big liability.
there were books written about me because the stuff that happened didn't happen to very many, hardly any kids back then. It completely did a 180 on me. The chemo worked. Like my hair fell out, grew back different color. I lost a lot of friends in the hospital that were fighting the same shit. My first best friend and my first cat both died of leukemia, which is strange. I didn't even know cats could get it. But yeah, just a lot, man.
That it's super interesting, man. Super interesting, super positive. Like,
And
to deal with all that at such a young age, man, and defy the odds.
and not only once, but I had it 3 times. Like it kept coming back, and I've been in remission since about 11 years old now. So it's been gone for a while.
That's,
It's fucking wanting
yeah, man. Survivor. That's all. That's the best word to describe that, man. You fought through it. You had a purpose, man, and now it's time for you to put those words out there, man, because
Yep.
you have a reason to be here. You have a reason that you survived those odds that a lot of people wouldn't have pulled out of.
Yep. And that was one of the first songs that I had on my first album that I dropped. It's called Cancer. You can find it on YouTube. It goes into more
Yeah.
details.
Definitely a motivational story.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So definitely, man, y'all got to give this guy a listen, man. Just on the basis of that, on the basis of a guy who has fought through that such adversity at a young age, to pull through cancer, survive, be in remission, and then be able to continue to pursue, his dreams. It's a beautiful thing, really.
And really, that's just the tip of the iceberg. That ain't even touching getting bullied in school because I wasn't the average height as a lot of the other kids. Everything else I had to go through.
Oh yeah, I could do. I can't imagine, man.
It was bad.
Um, I know how bad it was for regular ass motherfuckers
And
to
fat
get
people.
bullied. Fat people,
Well,
weird
Yeah.
people.
I was
You
short and
know,
fat, so I got it times 2.
yeah.
Damn.
I can only imagine, bro.
Yeah.
And
Look like a
you know,
cupcake.
so it's like with your size and your appearance and stuff. Like I ain't gonna lie, when we first seen you or first heard of you, like that was questioned. It's like people were
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
"How
I
old is
thought you
this
was a
guy?"
kid, bro.
That's why my name.
Everybody did. You know, and the first thing that was actually brought up was a joke because I guess, you know, as you know about um, Blind Fury, you
Yep.
know, ask D, you know, like you know, how old is this guy? Like that was that Andy Milonakis? Like you
Right.
know,
Shout out to Andy.
yeah, he made the first joke. I'm sure that's not been the first time you've heard that, but
No.
um, yeah, it started off like we didn't believe you at first, like nobody, and then I guess another associate at that time uh seen your ID and was like, "Yeah, bro, he's he's of age, like he's
Yep.
what
That
he's how old he says he is."
honestly, I think that's the main reason I started blasting tattoos on my arms, because there's a lot of judgmental people out there that don't always understand, and they say shit the wrong way, and they say it disrespectful whenever they see me and shit. So I just started covering my arms and shit. Like, fuck y'all. Like, pay attention.
Exactly. Yeah, man. People, unfortunately, we live in a world that's super judgmental off appearance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
That,
So,
that
remember
didn't
when I
really.
first seen you, bro. Like I asked Easy. I said, hey, like, hey, cuz I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but who's that kid that Wicked Ways and them was doing the music video and shit to?" He's like, bro, that's not a kid. That's a grown ass man.
I've even had people ask me to they're like, you know, is that like, you know, is that your nephew or something? Like I've seen you like on video with this young kid. I'm like, bro, he's not a kid.
Not.
He's got a grown son, like not grown, but
He's
he's
getting
got
there.
a whole ass kid himself.
That right there, like whenever my homie gave me that name back in the day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna run with it and see what happens. And then
Hey, that's how you do it, man. You take something that most people would consider a holdback or a setback, and you make it a positive, man. That's beautiful.
sir.
You
You
fuck a
know,
crutch.
that's
Yep.
the same shit that's the same shit I do with the fat stuff. Like, you know, I've heard it for so long, and people that's always people's first diss or comeback. So I embraced it and made it a part of my gimmick. You
You
know,
got to, otherwise it'll drive you nuts.
not really over time. You know, Kincaid can attest. Over time, we just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
I made it into a running joke for probably 10 years.
oh yeah, that's what you were known by. You know,
Yeah,
That
yeah, my
that's it.
nickname was Fat Bastard. So like for the longest time, and like I would open up a conversation. I'd be like, you know what? I woke up this morning and found out. They'd be like, what? I looked in the mirror, man. I'm fucking fat, and everybody would just laugh. So I mean, I just kind of re-threw negative back into the universe or something to laugh about.
Yeah, yeah,
you deflected. Yeah.
yeah. It used to bother me back in the day, but now, yeah, I don't give a fuck.
So I'm gonna ask you. Well, first I'm gonna ask you one question so I can get to it. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna have you speak on another subject. But what's the first song video you want us to check out?
Um, pull up, bang.
Bang. All
Yeah.
right. While I pull up Bang, I would like you to answer. Name some artists um, who influenced you, like coming up. Like who'd you listen to as a kid? No, any genre you want. Who inspired you?
So early on, inspirations would definitely have to be the Insane Clown Posse. Just because they, went through a lot of shit and didn't give a fuck, and they were gonna do things their own way, no matter what you thought of them or anything like that. Um, more influences would be Tech Nine, Juice World, R.I.P. Juice. There's a lot of influences. Um, Blind Fury, he didn't let nothing stop him. one of the homies. It was dope getting to watch him on MTV 106 in Park growing up, and then getting to meet him and having the genuine conversations I got. Like, he didn't let nothing stop him. And there's people like, I don't know if you guys know him, Little Man Jay. He's been doing some good stuff on TikTok and getting his numbers up and shit. And
Little baby Jay.
he's got a couple disabilities, and he ain't let nothing stop him either. And I kind of feel like I relate to him a little bit more than other people would.
I feel that.
Did you getting it pulled up?
Yeah, we're getting it pulled up, man. I'm gonna try to get it to where it doesn't look as crazy. Boom. Well, shit, nah. Can y'all see it?
Yeah. Ain't got
Can you hear it?
no volume.
All right, let me try this a different way, because that way, that one's a little weirder.
In the meantime, I don't know who all's watching, but if you got any questions you want to drop down in the chat, go ahead and drop any questions.
Yeah, you
I
got
got a
anything y'all
question,
want to
actually.
ask him?
I
Comment.
want to ask you a question. What age did you actually officially start writing music? What was you a poem god? Like, did you just write rhymes to write them, or is it something that came naturally over time?
So
What brought you up there?
I've always been around music. My dad was in a band back in the 90s, early 2000s. They played a lot of country and classic rock covers. And growing up, I went through the phase of playing drums, playing guitar. I was in bands. And I didn't really get into the whole hip hop, writing raps and shit until I was, I don't know, 18 years old, maybe 19, something like that. I met Tech Nine and Chris Calico around then at a MMA fight at the Ameristar Casino, and that really pushed it forward for me, like getting to meet those guys for the first time. Like,
Absolutely, I bet it did have a big influence for you right there. Then
yeah, it was dope.
that's dope, man. Real dope.
Can y'all hear that?
I
No,
still ain't got volume.
You can't hear it?
No.
I knew this was gonna be an issue. Well,
another quick question: If you
yeah,
had
keep
an
on asking questions
unlimited,
until I can figure this out.
if you had an unlimited budget, you could go anywhere you wanted to. You could have whoever in a music video that you wanted to. How would you arrange it and where would it be?
It's a good question.
I'm talking you could skydive out of a plane, land on a volcano, and have like your greatest lineup of artists, MCs, musicians there. Where what would you do? What would Kid Jewell's ultimate music video be?
I think as far as scenery for the background, maybe somewhere like Las Vegas.
Okay.
The buildings and neon lights kind of shit you see in movies and whatever. As far as budget, man, I don't know. There's so many artists. It's a good question.
It's good one to put on the spot, man.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate being put on the spot.
I mean, like, would you have like since you do have an unlimited like budget, you could have an orchestra, you could have. Would you go the movie route? Would you just want to set a vibe? Would you want like the Michael Bay music video? Like we've seen a lot lately from a lot of different artists, from rock, rap to all the way down the country.
I wouldn't do an orchestra related video, although I might like to get Colt Bennett to make the video. I like a lot of his videos, like the one he just made for Eminem.
Yeah, he's
Colby,
dope.
he's good. As far as artists, man, I'd really like to do I would really like to do a video with Hobson, just because you don't really hear or see of him very much right now with a lot of stuff he's going through. That it would be nice to see Hobson put back into the scene a little bit more.
I dig it. I really do.
I think that's a good answer, because like he's kind of doing his own thing right now.
So you'd want to set like a kind of like a standard cinematic vibe with like just neon lights and just something laid back, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's dope. I always ask those kind of questions to people because it allows me to get to know what your creative mind's like. I mean, I know you as the artist, but I've never really talked to you as like your creative structure, how you what your entire checklist is in making music and videos and all that, like what you go through to do it, what you actually want. Is your vision always what you see in the videos? Does it come out the way you wanted? That kind of stuff.
I think whenever I go to put something together, I don't really have a vision for it. I just kind of do what the beat makes me do at the time, and then I take it from there. This video right here was very last minute and very time restrained. We did a show with Blind Fury. This is when I met Blind Fury, the night of, and we had an hour to do this video, to be in and out. And the lady that kept doing the payments, it was a certain amount for a certain amount of people, and then like an extra charge for anybody after that. And she messed up the payment. Well, then she kept interrupting our video. We only had an hour. She could have waited till we were done respectfully, and then I would have handled it there. Because if the first payment went through, the second one would have too. I mean, it was just very, very stressful of a video shoot, but we found a place that worked, and we got a lot of dope shots in it for what it was.
Yeah, I thought it came out pretty well.
And the paint on me, I didn't get a very good job because she was kind of rushing us. I only had about a 5-minute paint job, and I mean, it still turned out all right.
Can you hear that?
Yep.
Kid Jewell, real talk, wicked ways. What up, fam? Real juggalo shit. Whoop whoop. Been stabbed in the back, but I pulled out the sword. I got the game in a slip knot with some paracord. I've been through hell and back, cause my demons needed some new horns. I summoned real talking wicked ways with my Ouija board. I'm down with the clown, I just sharpened up my hatchet. I got 20s, 50s, 100s in my safe. It keeps stacking. My 100-round drum on my head can't make them back. People know I keep it macho, man. I've always been a savage. I used to move work in the trap, manufacturing real juggalo shit. No cowards in my gathering. I don't trust people, cause my heart's been through some shattering. People talk too much, yeah, I hear too much chattering. I gotta watch my back, cause I see too many snakes. I ain't running, telling people's business. I stay in my lane, and I stay independent. Labels want too much change. I'ma keep it 100 till the motherfucking grave.
You ain't real till the game get played. Real with the facts never change. Haters gon' hate, that's the way the shit plays. Hustle motherfucker, boy, you know I'm getting paid. Keep it 100 to the motherfucking grave. Take a couple shots to the brain. Climbing to the top, non-stop where I came. Hop up in the whip, got a grip, click, bang, bang. You ain't real till the game get played. Real with the facts never change. Haters gon' hate, that's the way the shit plays. Hustle motherfucker, boy, you know I'm getting paid. Keep it 100 to the motherfucking grave. Take a couple shots to the brain. Climbing to the top, non-stop where I came. Hop up in the whip, got a grip, click, bang, bang.
I'm out to get this paper, so pussy, get up out my way. Every day I'm set to slay, every stage I play. Every time we hit the road, heading to another state. We pack the bowl, blowing smoke and leave them chanting wicked ways. Cause we fucking with the fam. They fucking know who I am. We throwing dubs across the club, capitalizing our plans. Man, it's me, pumpkin obsolete. Real talking, the homie easy. Ring of the Crow and King K. Pussy, you don't wanna catch his face, so move, bitch. We coming through. Fuck you and them dudes. This your city, homie, make a move. I'm guaranteed to let it loose. You think you tough, dog? You think you with it? Call the homies, tell them come get it. Otherwise, shut up, ho. We don't play them games. It's time to go. We'll catch a charge over you fake fucks. All for what? A couple bucks. So fucking chump, I changed my ways. You wanna see them darker days? I'll have you spin from the hill just to look inside and see how you feel. I'll leave you leaking while I start to peel. Call up real, homie, it's time to heal.
You ain't real till the game get played. Real with the facts never change. Never change. Haters gon' hate, that's the way the shit plays. Hustle motherfucker, but you know I'm getting paid. Track 100 to the motherfucking grave. Take a couple shots to the brain. Climbing to the top, non-stop where I came. Hop up in the whip, got a grip, click, bang, bang. You ain't real till the game get played. Real with the facts never change. Never change. Haters gon' hate, that's the way the shit plays. Hustle motherfucker, but you know I'm getting paid. Track 100 to the motherfucking grave. Take a couple shots to the brain. Climbing to the top, non-stop where I came. Hop up in the whip, got a grip, click, bang, bang.
All righty. That was Bang. Kid Jewell featuring Real Talk Wicked Ways.
Shout out to the guys.
Make sure y'all leave some feedback on that. If y'all watching now or you're watching in the future on YouTube, leave some feedback on that in the comments for my guy. Let him know what y'all think.
Yes, sir. Video came out dope.
Thank you. Yeah, we only had an hour that was in and out. So
Y'all done it. Y'all made it happen.
sometimes that's the best way to do it, is just to wing it, and everybody made it happen. So
For sure. So I don't know. I know you talked about Born to Hustle. I've heard a lot of the music on there, and it's a lot different than the last album. You definitely improved and grown as an artist through one album to the other, which is what you're supposed to do. You're maturing as an artist. You changed your sound up a little bit. And I know you've also got another little project that you're talking about that's going to be shortly after Born to Hustle. Did you want to talk about that a little bit?
yes, sir. I got an EP dropping with Sinister Minded Music. I'm shooting for October. The goal is this fall. I've got a couple music videos already shot. I plan to shoot a couple more in the works if we can make it happen. And it's going to be good too. I definitely wanted to change up from the first album to the second. I'm still working on finding my unique version of myself. I wouldn't say unique style because everything's already been done at this point. And I don't copy nobody, obviously.
You're just trying to step into your own, basically. You got, and you'll go through that as an artist. King Kate will tell you, I can tell you, throughout the years, I've done so many different styles and sounds until I found something that I was comfortable with.
And also for me, I've noticed that 90 to 95, even maybe 98% of my fan base has been male. So I'm trying to find another version of myself that I can give the other side of the fan base something for them to listen to.
You always got to have some music for the females to check out. You know, a lot of the females don't want to hear that, chop them up, stuff like that. Some of them do, but you gotta cater a little bit to the ladies every now and then. Throw them a little bone. No pun intended.
Yep.
Or make a song about turning them into bones. That works pretty well in my case.
I feel with a lot of artists, whenever they go to tweak their sound a little bit, 99% of the time they end up switching genres entirely, and that's not something that I want to do. I want to still keep it, what I've been doing for personal reasons and shit, and I don't want to be, a click hopper or a genre hopper. make
Yeah.
it
I
versatile.
hate those terms. Absolutely disgust me.
I do too, but
I hate those rappers.
Because when you put yourself in a box, man, that's gonna be what's gonna slow your progression.
Yeah.
Because once you start getting comfortable in your zone, and you're gonna ride your own lane and find out who you are, you're gonna care less about what other people think of you and what you should be doing. So you're gonna do what you want to do.
yep.
And I've noticed in all the music you've sent me, you've had a big change from your sound to your production quality. There's been a lot that's changed. Like even your first album, from everything I've heard, you had a lot of basic rhyme patterns. Now you're bringing a lot more similes, metaphors. You're really putting songs together better. Your hooks are by far better. You're way out of your comfort zone on some of the things I've heard, and I applaud you for that.
Like, I'm definitely trying. Always trying new stuff, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I don't know until I put the stuff out, and I appreciate all the feedback. I definitely am trying a lot of new stuff, and I've actually upgraded a lot of equipment over my last album, so the quality should be better than what it was before too.
It's the only way you're going to learn
Yeah.
is to step outside of the comfort zone.
Yep.
Because you never know what you're actually capable of until you sit out and do it.
I think a lot of that stepping out of the comfort zone was hard for me too, because of all the criticism I faced growing up and the bullying and shit just always been in the back of my head. But at the same time, being old enough to not give a fuck and just do it anyway.
Well, also, you can always carry that. You can always carry all that as motivation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it's turned into, really.
Imagine when that time comes and you really need to find that aggressive voice inside of you to make that song of hatred that just so many people are going to relate to. You really got that inside of you, and you can let that go, brother, because of everything you've been through.
Yep. And like they say, man, success is the best form of revenge.
Yep.
You know, all them people that picked on you, gave you a hard time. You know, you putting your music out to the world and you speaking your voice to the world is the best revenge you can get.
Yep, 100%.
And if they see this and any of those people who gave you shit in life, I hope they choke to death on a fucking bucket of horse dicks.
Oh yeah.
Some of them
y'all can kick rocks with open-toed sandals.
Facts.
Y'all can go wherever Diddy's sent.
Say what?
I said they can go wherever Diddy's being sent.
Oh man, Diddy's.
Yeah.
We're gonna cover that, guys. We're coming back to that one. You know what I mean?
We gotta watch it too. He took out the podcast last week.
Yeah.
I'm 100% certain. As soon as we start talking about Diddy and everybody else, the podcast went out. So we got to watch what we say this week.
All right, let's go back on topic.
Yeah, well, that episode's coming, but you know what we might have to do instead of doing it live, we might just have to record it and then put it up.
Yeah.
That way they can't knock us out. So we'll probably redo that episode because I definitely want those topics covered. So we'll get together one day and we'll just come on here and record it without hitting the live button, and then I'll just upload it to YouTube.
There you go.
And that actually makes for better anyway, because the quality and stuff's better anyway. But the whole live part, people like to tune in sometimes. But yeah, man, Kid Jewell, he's doing his thing, y'all. Get this man a listen. Check the music out. I'm gonna have him shout out all of his links. Before we go into the podcast, we're going directly into the podcast after this is over. And before we go into the podcast, I'm gonna have him shout his links out and all that stuff. Make sure y'all check him out. I'll also put his information in the description of the video. So if you're all watching this will be a completely separate video than the podcast. So you'll see, our artist spotlight episode 1, Kid Jewell. It'll be this whole this hour right here. I'll have all his information in there. Make sure y'all check him out. Feel free to go look him up on YouTube. He's got a lot of videos up.
I'm on all platforms, everywhere you get your music.
He's on all platforms. He's got merch out, man. If you want to support the guy, go check out some merch. He's got a lot of different stuff out. The little logo that's in the corner of the screen right now. He's got that on a bunch of merch. Check him out, man. That's all I gotta say. He's definitely approved. He's definitely 606 approved. Fucking Absolute Hysteria approved. SWO approved.
Yep. Get that fresh T-shirt. We just dropped it. Easy just dropped it.
Yeah, man. We're gonna get that banging here soon. We're gonna get all the videos up, all the promos and stuff up. Let people start sharing it. But what video you want to go into? What other video you want us to show?
Do trust issues.
Can I ask a question real quick before we jump into another video?
Go ahead.
All right, I see Kid Jewell, man, you do a lot of shows. Like you travel a lot, you open for a lot of artists that people consistently keep in their playlist. With everything that you've endured in life, where did you get the confidence to jump on stage in front of hundreds of fans and supporters? And what can you give somebody as advice when they're dealing with something stepping out in front of the public and they got something wrong with them? What can you tell them about their issue and compare it to yours?
All right. So, believe it or not, the first time I've been on an actual stage was the night we opened for Blind Fury. And it's definitely nerve-wracking.
Oh, that was your first performance, huh?
That would be kind of big.
Yeah, I never knew that. I thought you did shows like previously.
Well, the shows that I did before I invested into myself was a lot of free shows, a lot of just bars, open mic night stuff, showcases.
Well, that still counts. That's practice.
Yeah, that's
actually, I take that back. I did a show 2 weeks before we did Blind Fury, and that was in Springfield. It was a open mic showcase night, and I didn't get hyped up as much as other people, but I kept pushing, and like 2 weeks later I met Wicked Ways and Sinister Minded Music. Shout out to them. And
shout out to the homie.
They were really the first ones to put me on and you know, let me do my thing, even though I'd never really been in that situation before, and it's always nervous.
It's a big step.
I'm still always nervous because I don't know who's gonna fuck with my shit and who's gonna take, the 15 people they came in the building with and go on the other side of the building. But you can't let it stop you. If you're performing for 500 people or 5 people, you got to go out there and show them what your set looks like. You got to be invested into your sound. You got to go out there and give all your energy to it. Otherwise, people need to see you at all.
I say the same thing, man. But I'll tell you what, I preach it, but sometimes it is hard to practice because, 5 or 5,000, you got to go out there and do it regardless. But I tell you what, man, like that now as I've gotten older and I've done more and more and more, I'm into the upwards of, 300-400 shows. It's like, oh man, like the energy though, bro. Like when I go from the bigger crowds and then we'll do a show sometimes that doesn't do so well.
Yep.
And you're used to doing these bigger crowds where the energy is constant, like they're feeding you. And then you jump on stage and then there's, 5-10 people in the crowd and they're not giving you nothing. So
or it's mostly artists.
Yeah, it's draining because like I'm trying to give you I'm trying to rock for you. I'm trying to give you energy, but yet you're not giving me nothing to feed off of. It's hard.
And a lot of these crowds anymore, if they don't personally know you, they're not vibing to you with anything that you bring on the stage because you're not their homie. They don't know you. They're gonna step back, which is
that's some of crowds. I mean, I've been in front of, several hundred people where they don't know me and they've rocked out.
But when we did the man show in February, they was all up there vibing out, and that shit was dope. 658 people, their hands all in the air, screaming and shit. That was dope.
Mm-hmm. That's how.
And
That's how it goes, man. It's different crowds and different things, man. I've been in front of Juggalo crowds that were extremely hyped out. I've been in front of hip hop crowds when I opened up for like Young Buck, D12, and Bone, stuff like that, where it's like, you know, it's hip hopish. There's people that feel you, but then there's people that just look at you type shit. I've been in front of ghetto, like straight ghetto, in the middle of the ghetto crowds, and they just stare at you.
Shit, I had a good experience though, being right in the middle of the ghetto, and like they actually fuck with my music.
Hey, it's not. No, I'm not saying it's bad, because at the time you're performing, they not saying nothing.
Right.
They're watching you and they're taking it in. They're listening, and then after you get off stage, they dap you up, show you love.
Yep.
It's all good. But while you're on stage, you're sweating because you're like, dude, they're not saying nothing. They're not bobbing. They're not doing nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes whenever I leave the stage, like I go to the gym, you know, I try to get my gym workouts in. And like sometimes, a lot of times I'll end up leaving the stage in those 15 minutes and I'm sweating more doing a fucking hour workout in the gym trying to give them every piece of energy.
Well, you know, and also because of the lights and stuff don't help either.
Yeah, being 400 degrees on stage.
Man.
That's why I like doing the invisible shit, man, because we'll tell them to cut the lights. You know what I mean?
And to answer the second half of Kincaid's question earlier, as far as the insecurities and everything, going out of your comfort zone, being up on stage, for me, I found it easier for me if I put on some sunglasses, because then it doesn't bother me as much. I'm still nervous up until they play the music, and then it just goes away and gives me a natural high. And then once the music hits, I'm in my zone.
That's kind of how I feel too. I'm the same way. Like I might, you know, most of the time it's second nature. I really don't get that nervous anymore.
Yeah.
But every now and then I'll get that little queasy feeling, you know, like right before I go up. But then it's like you said, as soon as I start into the mic, as soon as I first open my mouth, I'm fine after that.
Right. It's like with my situation, man, usually when I'm performing in front of nothing but my equals or my peers, it's literally to the point where, you know, I'm trying to impress other artists. So, and everybody knows, let's be honest, most artists do not support each other. Whereas like me and Easy had a situation earlier last year where we was in Louisville one night. We was performing literally in front of nothing but artists. My energy was dead. He didn't want to do it. We was just kind of on stage existing at the moment. And then the next night we performing in, you know, a house full of juggalos. Everybody was just, you know, the love was there. The energy was there. It was a vibe. And we had a great show. You know, it just, the whole thing with me, man, is just like Eric said. And, you know, it's the energy in the room that really predicts how I'm going to act. Do you feel the same way?
I do, and it's very strange because I can start out being really nervous, and then one or two songs into my set, I'm taking my glasses off, and like it doesn't matter after that point. Once I get started, all that anxious, nervous feeling just kind of goes away.
Yeah, because once you're like in your first song of your set, you can see how people are reacting. Yeah. You know, if they're giving you the stank eye, like, oh.
And I definitely had squats to where it was nothing but artists. But, you know, some of that was my fault because I was letting some of these people, all because they got to get up early for work and that kind of thing. I kind of be nice and, you know, switch them squats. And I'm not doing that anymore because then it puts you in a bad spot and you're just, you know, the crowd size goes from 30, 35 people to 2 people at the end of the night. And you're like, well, why did I do that?
That's why a lot of headliners don't like to headline unless you're a national booked headliner. They don't like the headline. They like to go somewhere in the middle because But time you get to the end of the show, they're either extremely drunk and ready to go home, or they're just not paying attention.
I'd almost rather just open the show to begin with. That's when more of the people were giving their time and energy.
I've been stuck doing that a few times, and I thought I didn't like it at first. I was kind of upset. I'm like, dude, like I've got more riding on this show than anybody else. Like, why would you put me first? And then when I look back at it and seeing all the crazy shit that happened, like one night they made me go first, the power ended up going out. And they had to stop the show after like 3 people. I could have been one of them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I got to perform. I got to rock out. You know, I sold merch. Now, another time I did, one of the damn speakers blew up about halfway during the show. They popped the speaker, so the sound sounded like doo-doo the rest of the time.
Yep.
So I kind of enjoy going in like the first 2, 1 to 3 people.
Yep.
Because and plus you can set the bar for the rest of the show too.
Yep. True.
And people will notice. Like if you set the bar high, and the people that don't measure up to that, people will notice. They'll be like, "Man, first dude killed it. Second, third dude, not so much." Like,
I'm trying to get up there anymore before people start really drinking. That's where the energy's at.
All right, let me pull up this. The time is flying. It's already 50 minutes in.
Going by
Let's
quick.
see. Priests. Let's see. We're going to do this one. I have to remember the steps because it took me 3 different times to figure it out. Boom. Everything good?
Yep.
People be fake and I'm just telling y'all the truth. And that's why I got these trust issues. Steady taking shots, they ain't never been 100 proof. And that's why I got these trust issues. Stab you in the back, and that's why I got trust issues. And that's why I got these trust issues. Stabbed in the back, and that's why I got trust issues. And that's why I got these trust issues. I came from the bottom like a basement. As a baby, doctor said I would never make it. They called the morgue, they already had my fucking grave picked. I've been through hell and back, escaped the flame pits. I slipped through the cracks, broke the pavement. Every day people try to test my patience. Just remember that I ain't the one to fucking play with. Everywhere I go, I see fangs, I see snake pits. People try to knock me down, but I resurface. I got the trick, bitch, yeah, I keep it in my thermos. My bars are hot like they've been forged up in a furnace. I don't trust people, cut them off just like a surgeon. I don't get distracted by diversions, close the curtains. I don't check prices, if I like it, then I purchase. I ain't scared of my demons, I grew up in churches. My safe is like a stove, bitch, I got 4 burners. People be fake, and I'm just telling y'all the truth. And that's why I got these trust issues. Steady taking shots, they ain't never been 100 proof. And that's why I got these trust issues. Stab you in the back, and that's why I got trust issues. And that's why I got these trust issues. Stabbed in the back, and that's why I got trust issues. And that's why I got these trust issues. Fuck all those bridges, give me gasoline, I burn them. I'm a G with the code, only gangsters in my circle. I don't just hand out trust, nah, cause you gotta earn it. People stab you in the back, something that I learned quick. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. Cause what you think is sweet, in reality is kosher. The ones you think are right and cannot skate, they be posers. Gotta watch your back, Glock 19 up in a holster. I'm getting real good at seeing people's real intention. I can see it before it happens, yeah, I got a vision. I ain't the one to play with, better stop Nintendo switching. People quick to flip the switch, cut the wire, electrician. You are who you hang around, be careful who you choose. Watch for people who ain't happy when you get good news. Find some people that can score when you're all out of moves. Find the ones you can depend on so you ain't got trust issues. People be fake, and I'm just telling y'all the truth. And that's why I got these trust issues. Steady taking shots, they ain't never been 100 proof. And that's why I got these trust issues. Stab you in the back, and that's why I got trust issues. And that's why I got these trust issues. Stabbed in the back, and that's why I got trust issues. And that's why I got these trust issues.
All right. That was Kid Jewell with them trust issues.
I can relate to that song.
Hey,
It glitched up a little bit, but people can find it on YouTube.
but yeah, man, definitely.
Shout out to my guy George, LEU Productions, one of the best videographers down there in my area, for sure.
Hell yeah, man, it did a good job on it for real. So man, we come to the end, man, and I'm hoping people got to know a little bit about you. They'll get to know more about you as time goes on because you're a constant host on the podcast with me, and they'll be seeing more and more of you as time goes on. Of course, make sure y'all go check him out. Check the new album when it drops. Check his stuff he's got now. Grab some merch. Support your artist like you support any other fucking famous person that you support that doesn't know who you are.
Yep.
So go ahead and drop some links and stuff, man, where people can find you at.
All right, so you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok mainly. My Facebook page is going to be Kid Jewell, 2 D's and 2 L's. A lot of people don't spell it right, but it happens. Instagram is going to be Kid Jewell with no space in between it. And then TikTok is going to be The Real Kid Jewell. There is another artist with that name, but he's like a Spanish rapper or something. But I've had it, I'm pretty sure, before him. But you can find me everywhere. I'm mainly on Facebook, but you can find me on TikTok and Instagram too.
Yeah. Look the man up. Check the links out. Check the videos out. Make sure when this video drops on YouTube, it'll be on there tonight. I'm going to edit some information. I got to drop some of his information on the description, and then I'll have it. It'll be posted, ready to go. Definitely by tomorrow morning, it'll be ready. You can share it out to your friends, share it out to your people. Tell them to check out Kid Jewell. Learn some about. We learned a little bit about his past. We learned a little bit about the future, and man, it's been episode number 1 of the Artist Spotlight with Kid Jewell.
Yes, sir. And if you hit me up on social media, I'm usually fairly active on there. I will comment back. I will message you back. So be patient, and I will get back to you.
Yes, sir.
Unless he's asleep.
Yeah, unless he falls asleep, and then he'll ghost you.
Yeah, I got a pretty. Sometimes I just crash.
All right, guys. So we're going to end this one, then we're jumping straight over into the other one. Give me about a good 3 minutes. I'm gonna send them the links to the next stream, and we're going to jump right over and make sure y'all tune in with us on the next stream. We're about to talk about some munchies and some good old fat boy food topics.
Everybody loves food. Catch us over there on the next podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Check out Kid Jewell.
Yes, sir.